Mansi Singh from Readers and Creators. In this video, we will talk about three renowned male authors of English literature, Ruskin Bond, R.K. Narayan and Mulkraj Anand. So let's begin with Ruskin Bond because he is most popular author among all age categories. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author and poet and currently lives in Missouri with his adopted family. He was born in Kasauli, British India to British parent. He was so close to his father but lost him when he was just 10, and it was the most tragic incident of his life. Ruskin Bond never got married but adopted two kids, and those kids have their kids and their kids have their kids. So Ruskin Bond is a great grandfather, and at the age of 86 he is still writing so many books. About his writing career, Ruskin Bond has explored almost all genres of English. He has written fiction, non-fiction, essays, autobiography, books for children, romance, haunted stories, and whatnot. He has also written about panthers and leopards in his story, but the unique thing is that those writings are based on his real sightings. He lived in Missouri, that's why most of his short stories are about Dehra, about mountains, about nature. He loved nature, and he said that he started observing nature and start praising nature because his father taught him so. During an interview, he was asked why he writes so simple, because he is given the title of simple writer, and he said he don't want his readers to toil and sweat. He said nowadays writers think that if they write typically or use high vocabulary, they will be taken seriously. But according to Ruskin Bond, readers connect with the writer only when the writing is simple. So yes, I am glad that he said that. His short stories are mostly autobiographical in nature because he took his own experience and mixed them with fictional stories. His books are adapted into movies and TV series. His first book was The Room on the Roof, whose character Rusty became most famous. Ruskin Bond's most famous fictional character is Rusty till now. And that book, The Room on the Roof, was adapted into a Doordarshan TV series with the name Ek Tha Rusty. His book, A Flight of Pigeons, was adapted into Bollywood movie Junoon. The Blue Umbrella was adapted in a movie under the same name. Suzanne's Seven Husbands. Many books are adapted, and when asked about India or being Indian, he said, race did not make me one, religion did not make me one, but history did. And in a long run, it's history that counts. So yes, Ruskin Bond writing are so simple yet so powerful and deep, and he is loved among children. So just read him, and if you are not a reader or not so much into reading, just pick up a collection of short stories, and I can assure you that you will just love his writings. His most popular works are Delhi is Not Far, Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, and Haunted Places, Rupa Book of Haunted Places, Ghost Stories. I just love Ruskin Bond, and I still awaits for his new book releases. Next is R.K. Narayan, Rasipuram Krishna Swami Iyer Narayan Swami. I'm glad he shortened that. Well, R.K. Narayan is an Indian author born in Mysore, now Chennai, Tamil Nadu, into a Brahmin family. Later, he worked as a reporter in The Justice, where he dedicated his work for the rights of non-Brahmins. R.K. Narayan is known for his comprehensive narrative in short stories. He has the eye for common life, for mundane lives of common people, and he used that in his writings. R.K. Narayan is majorly known for his short stories, where he expressed the depth of characters. He expressed the depth of a story in mere 2 or 3 pages. His first book, Swami and His Friends, was a huge success, but not at that time, but now, and it was a trilogy where he wrote Swami and His Friends about the childhood, about a boy, his friends, his grandmother, and about a child. It will give you the sense of nostalgia. Secondly, in the trilogy is The Bachelor of Arts, where he wrote about adolescence, about college life. Third is The Dark Room, where he wrote about domestic disharmony. So he expressed about all the major factors of society. R.K. Narayan in his stories wrote about society discrimination up to some point, but his most popular work is Malgudi Days and Swami and His Friends, which is so nostalgic and so great. Malgudi is the most popular fictional town created by R.K. Narayan. He won A.C. Benson Medal in Royal Society of Literature, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan and Sahitya Akademi Award. R.K. Narayan was also nominated for Nobel Prize in Literature many times, but unfortunately he couldn't win. His writings have that natural element of humor in it, and he made the mundane extraordinary. His books are adapted into movies. The Guide is adapted into a Bollywood movie with the name Guide. Swami and His Friends is adapted into a Doordarshan TV series. And if you are not much of a reader, I hugely suggest you to watch that series because it's so great and so interesting and so enjoyable. If you start watching it, I am sure you can't stop after 1 or 2 episodes. And R.K. Narayan has written fiction, mythology, non-fiction and short stories. R.K. Narayan also remained depressed for a short period of time after his wife's death, and he never get remarried. He was also made member of Parliament of Upper House of India, that is Rajya Sabha. His most popular work are The Financial Expert, The Talkative Man, Grandmother's Tale, The Writerly Life, and Swami and His Friends and Malgudi Days top the list. So just read it now or watch it. Next is Mulkraj Anand, who was born in Peshawar, Pakistan, which was then in India, and he is also an Indian writer. Unlike Ruskin Bond and R.K. Narayan, Mulkraj Anand was not known for his short stories, but his contributed work about social discrimination, about caste system, typical caste system of India, about rich and poor. His first book, that was Untouchable, was a great success because he wrote about, as the name suggests, untouchability, about the caste system of India, and that too because he saw a family tragedy in his own family. Mulkraj Anand's book Kuli is also a huge success. His books Two Leaves in a Bud was banned by British government because of its controversial content, and he always wrote about social discrimination, about caste system, about religion differences, about rich and poor. Once during an interview, he was asked how he observed that thing in society, how he observed the differences among people, and he said that his heart got broken in young age because he fell in love with a Muslim girl, and that girl was married to some other man as a third wife. Later that man murdered that girl and got away with it. So that was like a arrow which struck right and center, and Mulkraj Anand got inspired from that and wrote about that. He saw around him, he noticed the differences, untouchability, the caste system, and just put it in his writing. He was unapologetic in nature about writing. He never covered it with words or wrote in refined form. He wrote bluntly about what's happening around us. He is always known for his writing about tolerance, secularism, social justice, and human life. He won International Peace Prize, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, and Sahitya Akademi Award. His most famous work is Untouchable and Kuli. Mulkraj Anand planned to write 7-part autobiography about his spiritual journey, about his levels of self-awareness. But unfortunately, he has written only 4 and then he died in 2004. So yeah guys, that's it. I have covered all the 3 authors and I will come with many more, and you are going to pick some book by these authors, because if you are not much of a reader, I would suggest to read a short story by any one of them, And that's it. Till then, keep